Hey, here we are with the latest episode of the Supernatural 1967 Chevy Impala build. We'll be looking at the interior and the chassis, all completed. Alright, here we go. This is the completed interior and chassis. Everything's put together nicely, with a few extra details tossed in, and a few Easter eggs for Supernatural fans. Alright, first thing I want to talk to you about concerning this assembly is aligning all the interior passenger compartment tub pieces. The interior tub is made up of 5 pieces, which is the floor plan, the 2 door cards, the rear shelf and seat assembly, and the dashboard. Those all come together to form the entire passenger tub, which then gets glued to the frame, to the full frame chassis. Now, as you're putting it in, if you follow the instructions and do it in the order they want you to, what they want is for you to install the rear seats first, and then in later steps install the 2 door cards. Well, what I found is that if you do it in that order, you're going to have a hard time aligning the rear shelf and the door card, as the way the seats are positioned, they'll actually lift the door cards off of the floor pan. Or at least that's what I found with this kit. So I found it easier to actually install the 2 door cards and then slide the rear seats in from behind and then line everything up using a slow setting glue to give you time to just make sure everything gets lined up correctly. Should be an even line from here to the rear shelf. These pieces here should meet evenly. So what I did was I put everything on a slow setting glue to hold it in place, and then I used the Tamiya quick setting extra thin glue to tack together the 2 corners here, and that held the seat in the proper position, lined up with the door cards, making sure that they were both still sitting flush against the floor pan. And that allowed me to square everything away. Then I installed the dashboard, and that completed the interior tub. Then I installed the front seats, and that was it for the assembly. I found it easier that way to keep everything square and everything lined up properly. Okay, as you may have noticed, there are a couple of extra details in here. I have seat belts and buckles at all 4 corners for all the seats. The seat belt buckles are provided by Model Car Garage. I've ordered quite a few of their photo etch parts, and I like them. They have a huge selection of detail parts. I've ordered quite a bit from them, and have not been disappointed. The belt material itself comes from Hobby Lobby, as I found this particular ribbon, the Ribbon Boutique number 176842, is perfect for creating 1/24th, 1/25th scale seat belts, which I used here. They only come in limited colors, but if you're looking for black seat belt material, there's 24 feet in that roll for $1.99. It's a really good deal. Okay, now let's take a close-up look at the interior. As I said, there's a couple of Easter eggs here for Supernatural fans. You can see the dashboard, which is really, really nicely done. I didn't use all of the decals for the dashboard. I only used the instrument cluster and this one decal here above the glove box, as I found the other decals didn't look realistic enough, and it, in my opinion, looks better painting the chrome trim, I used the Molotov chrome pen and then some Tamiya black panel line paint to age it a little bit, give it some shadows, which I think looks much better than the decals that they want you to use there. I then painted all the details into the radio and AC controls, and it really makes a really good looking dashboard. It's a really good piece. The engraving is good. This kit is a mixture of new and old tooling, and I don't know if the dashboard is new, but I do know the door cards are, and the engraving is very good on these. Details really stand out. I used the bare metal foil for all of the chrome trimming on the door cards, on the armrests. I then painted the door handles and window cranks using Tamiya chrome. I then used flocking powder for the carpets and the rear package shelf. The in-universe car, Dean's car on the show, has a black package shelf and tan carpeting. I don't know if this is standard among Chevy Impalas, but since I'm building the in-universe version of the car, this is the way I chose to do the flocking powder. Now let's take a look at the undercarriage. Here we have the little bit of weathering done on the underside of the floor pan. Here is the gas tank, which I painted, weathered up a little bit, aged it up a little bit. Gives it a nice used look. It's not a new car. It's they're driving it all over the country, so it's gonna have a little bit of wear and tear on it. But it's coming together nicely. This really does make a nice kit. Even the mixture of new and old tooling does not take away from how much fun this kit has been to put together so far. And with a little extra detailing, just sets it off nicely, I think. If you're a fan of the show, I recommend this kit. It's not perfect, but the good outweighs the bad. Okay, on the next chapter, we'll be looking at the body, which I will be redoing since had a few issues with the first one. And I'll go into that on the next video. But this body on this second kit that I got is definitely much better molded than the first one. Alright, well that pretty much takes care of that. We'll give you one last look at the interior. And I guess I will see you guys on the next one.